who. Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 2nd. It's just after 10 o'clock. This is an open door. If you have found your way here, welcome, welcome. This is our regular Tuesday morning gathering in which we explore one of the daily lessons of A Course in Miracles. We've been working our way through them, and today we are on lesson 103, which is God being love is also happiness. Now, I am here gathered with a bunch of master teachers. And so I'm going to give you my experience with this lesson, and then we're going to do a meditation. And then I know that you will all share your experience with this lesson. I want to say from the outset that this is a lesson that is like what I'm finding all the lessons are in A Course, is for both beginners and advanced, quote unquote, students. Right? It's advanced because it is so simple that most students miss the teaching. And in many ways, I did when I first looked at this lesson. God being love is also happiness. I didn't know what love was. And I thought I knew what happiness was when I first read this lesson, but it never stayed. So I really didn't know. I did not understand. And so this lesson, in some ways, for the beginning student, invites you to question whether you know what love is and whether you know what happiness is. Right? It's an invitation. And part of the reason that I love A Course is its focus on forgiveness, because when I first read this lesson, my temptation was to blame myself for not knowing what love was and not knowing what happiness was. But I grasped the fact that I could forgive myself for that, which opened my mind to allow myself to deepen the teaching. And the teaching actually has taken me years to deepen. And so I will say I am still deepening my understanding of this lesson. This lesson has to be experienced to be known, which is why it's both for beginners and mature students. You must have your own experience of the way that love and happiness are linked. And they can only be linked in the understanding of what we call the non-dual teachings. That was what finally opened the door to really getting this lesson was for me. I had to have an understanding beyond the intellectual understanding of what oneness really is. And we talked yesterday, who was it that said something about, maybe it was Regis, I'm not sure, about wanting to understand what oneness was. And I'm paraphrasing here. Maybe it was Richard. It was Richard, no? Okay, well, someone in my own mind was talking about their desire to understand oneness. And I too had that desire. And I asked the all, the it is, the absolute to help me understand what oneness is. And then I waited for the answer. And I waited and I waited. I trusted. I knew that would come to me. And then I ran into Rupert Spira's teaching, in which he explained that when we go to the stillness, and we rest as awareness, and we carve away or allow all that is not constant and always present to fall away, that the only thing that is left is the I am. And that I am is the same for every being. It is a simple knowing of I am. When I fully grokked that, I knew that my prayer had been answered, because everyone experiences and knows themselves the I am. And that was how I understood that oneness is. And that's how this lesson is held for me. It is always in the I am eternal that love is found, and that where love is, also happiness is. So I'm going to read a little bit of this lesson. I'm not going to read from Training Wheels this morning because it was written 20 years ago, and I was still learning what this lesson is. The words from this, from the original teaching, are actually right there. And well, no, I'll wait on this. So the words from this lesson, 103, God being love is also happiness, begin in a very non-dual way. They said, happiness is an attribute of love. The word attribute is in many ways a non-dual, it's a non-dual word. Peace is an attribute of the absolute. The word attribute is sort of a qualifier to something that cannot be qualified in the non-dual teachings. So we have the absolute, all-knowing, all-being. God is oneness itself. But within oneness and complete non-duality, there are certain attributes that are present, and happiness is present, and joy is present, and peace is present. So we call those attributes. And in this, the first sentence here is, happiness is an attribute of love. It cannot be apart from it. If we do not understand that everything is one and there is no separation, then we cannot understand those first two sentences. We have to understand clearly and know, not just intellectually, we have to have the experience that happiness is an attribute of love and it cannot be apart from it. Nor can it be experienced where love is not. Love has no limits. Only the separate has limitation. The absolute all has no limits because it is not separate from itself or anything else. It is endless and eternal. It is everywhere. And therefore joy is everywhere as well. And yet can the mind deny that this is so? The small mind, the mind that thinks it's separate, that can deny that this is so, believing there are gaps in love where sin or separation can enter, bringing pain instead of joy. And is it not true that any time we perceive ourselves to be separate from the love, the absolute, that there is pain? There is always pain there. It is never not painful. And Regis tells us an attribute is a quality, characteristic, or property inherent in or ascribed to, not someone or something, because there is no someone or something that is separate from anything else. It is just inherent in the oneness itself. Thank you, Regis. This strange belief in separation, this strange belief that there could be anything outside of all that is, would limit happiness by redefining love as limited and introducing opposition in what has no limit and no opposite. And so fear is associated then with love. This is a major, major point. When we separate from the absolute and we begin to judge what is, fear enters. It is the thin edge of the wedge that comes in and allows fear. It's only logical, really. The instant I see myself as separate from the absolute love that is, then I will have an idea that there is something that could oppose me and that I should be afraid of it. It's only logical. It's mathematical. It is only in the recognition that we are the eternal oneness, absolute, that we can know the end of fear. And when we know the end of fear, we know love. And when we know love, we know happiness. Right? Fear is associated then with love. How many of us have, my father used to say as he punished me, "It hurts me more to do this than it hurts you. It hurts me to do this as much as it hurts you." And I thought that was love. In fact, that was how I knew he loved me. That it could hurt him to hurt me. That was my measure of love from my father. That's what we're taught, that love and fear, love and pain are combined. That if I love you, I will suffer for you. What an insane idea, and yet how alive it is in this world. Right? And this is what we have to let go. And in our meditation today, we will be doing this. We talked yesterday, it was such a beautiful teaching about the guides, bringing all of your dissatisfaction, your fear, your unhappiness, your conflict, bringing it and putting it on the table. Putting it on the table, and then seeing the table as light. And letting everything that you put on the table be lifted to the light. We'll do a version of that in our meditation today. But this is the teaching that fear and love cannot be the same. And we have to abandon and give up the idea of fear and love being in any way able to coexist. And this is where forgiveness again comes to the fore, because it is through forgiving ourselves for believing that fear and love could coexist and should coexist and might coexist. We forgive ourselves for that. And then we open the door to seeing it differently, to choosing once again, as Cindy taught us yesterday, choosing once again. Right? Fear is associated then with love, and its results become the heritage of minds that think what they have made is real. The heritage of minds. The heritage is heretical. These images, with no reality in truth, bear witness to the fear of God, forgetting love. He must be joy, and this basic error we will try again to bring to truth today and teach ourselves. I love that. Bring it to truth and teach ourselves. So one of the things we're going to do in our meditation is we're going to, and you don't have to look at this. I'm just going to read it to you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take us to chapter 18, the blessing of the holy relationship. And this is about the dreaming the happy dream. And this is just it's a caveat. Not a caveat. It's an instruction for our meditation. And this came to me this morning through David Hoffmeister, I think, and it has a perfect applicability to today. It says, prepare you, the small mind, prepare you not for the undoing of what never was, linking fear and love together. Prepare you not to do that. If you already understood the difference between truth and illusion, that fear and love are not linked at all, then the atonement, the at-one-ment, the knowing of oneness itself would have no meaning. It would be unnecessary for you. The holy instant, the moment now, the William moment of pure presence now, needing nothing and doing nothing at all. That at-one-ment, the holy instant, your holy relationship, the Holy Spirit's teaching, and all the means by which salvation, which is the recognition of oneness, is accomplished, would have no purpose. It would be unnecessary because you would know. For they are all but aspects of the plan to change your dreams of fear to happy dreams. So here is the teaching, the instruction for this meditation. Never approach that holy instant, the meditation, the now, after you yourself have tried to remove all fear and hatred from your mind. That is not your function. That is the Holy Spirit's function. That is the now function, the oneness function. It is not the small self's function. All we do as the small self is show the little willingness to bring it to the table. Just bring it to the table. In the holy instant, the now moment, just bring it. And as William has told us, let presence do the work. Your recognition of it and your willingness to bring it to the table is all you need to do. It is so simple and so easy and so effortless. Right. Never attempt to overlook your guilt, your fear, your belief in separation before you ask for the Holy Spirit's help. That is called spiritual bypassing. Don't bypass it. Have your moment with it. Bring it to the table and let presence do the work. Right? Forgiveness is the function of the Holy Spirit, which is the wholeness within each one of us that is our inheritance. And it is inherent in every one of us. Your only part is to offer the holiness, the wholeness of the holy instant, a little willingness to let it do the work, to remove all fear and hatred, and to know forgiveness. So that is what we will do together this morning. And I'll probably speak a few words as we sit in this silence together for about 10 minutes, bringing this lesson. God being love is also happiness, being that our breath work. That's our breath work. Just those words, right? Every one of you is a master teacher. As I look at each one of you, so I look forward to hearing your teaching after we have this meditation, because what you experience and what you share will be your teaching. So let's just turn our cameras off and just listen to my voice as we go into this meditation together. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to worry about time. Just sink into the present moment. Allow yourself to be. And begin with the breath and just placing gentle awareness on the breath. And the most crucial step here, if we can even call it that, is to just stand firmly in your own identity. Rest firmly in your own identity as the aware presence. We don't live our whole existence during the daytime as aware presence. We move in and out of it. But this time, this 10 minutes or so, is a time we set aside just to rest without worrying, without interruption, as this aware presence. Just being, listening, resting in the I am. And we might notice that what arises in consciousness as we rest becomes subtler and subtler, more and more refined. God, being love, is also happiness. What I would like to invite you to do today is just empty yourself. And if the image of a table or an altar is helpful for you, then use it. So as you breathe on the out breath, make an offering of anything that you wish to release to the Holy Spirit, the holy instant. Just place it, let the out breath carry it, and place it on the table or the altar. Gently lay it down, and then don't worry about it. Whatever happens next is not your concern. Just offer whatever arises and lay it gently down. And as you empty yourself, notice that you become space. Be the space. So simple. Allow the simplicity of the space you are to be itself. It is open and it is free. as you breathe, releasing all to the altar or to the table. You may notice the space becomes emptier and quieter and somehow bigger and more expansive. What recognizes the space? It is not anything or anyone. It simply is the space. It is simply what is already there. And you are that. When we empty ourselves to the Holy Spirit, to the space, we become so simple and we become free. And freedom is the home of happiness, because there is no thing not to love. It's all love. It's all the space, allowing everything to arise within it. It is the space that is unaffected by anything that moves within it or arises within it. Now and now and now. Happiness belongs to you. Happiness belongs to you because of what you are, eternal, absolute. You did not create yourself, but you are one with all creation. Give yourself to yourself as often as you can today. Know yourself fully capable, because you have recognized the strength of your own oneness inherent. It is inherent in your willingness to know yourself, God's being. And this is freedom. And freedom is happiness. And love is liberation, knowing itself. God, being love, is also happiness. And it is happiness I seek today. I cannot fail because I seek the truth. Mhm. Know yourself loved and begin, if it is right for you, if it feels right, just begin to come back into the awareness of the body, feet on the floor, breathing yourself into your heart center. Knowing yourself perfectly capable of returning to this space anytime. There is a direct path there. So, beloveds, when you're ready, I'd love to hear how this lesson reaches you. Thank you for doing this with me. I so appreciate all of you. I really do. Thank you so much. Thank you, Richard. Good morning.
Morning, everyone. I guess I was the one that brought up oneness yesterday. I thought it was revelation I was talking about, but in that conversation, I indicated I wanted this experience of oneness. So I say corrected again. Um, um, you know, about this lesson, one of the things I really loved about Tony Parsons was he was so happy. He was fully awake and he was so happy. I went, that's the way I want to be. I mean, that's what the Course is saying. That's what this lesson is saying. Why can't I be happy in the dream? Why am I always criticizing me for being less than? Suffering, having pain, having illness. Why can't it be more like Tony Parsons and be happy all the time and be laughing all the time? So I finally got to a point where I had to be everything. In order to do that, I had to be everything. I had to be the separate self. I had to be the one self. Um, I had to be the dreamer of the dream and the hero of the dream at the same time. And that took a while for me to wrestle with it. How can it be both? I have to be one or the other. And I said, no, I'm going to be both. As a hero of the dream, I realize now that I'm not the hero of the dream. I'm not real. I'm an imaginary dream figure in which I can play the game of living as a separate self. And then as a dreamer of the dream, I can realize I am already awake. I no longer need to suffer with pain, guilt, sin, and fear. That is all gone because that's not who I am. I only can experience those things if I identify as the hero of the dream. So, for me, once we awake and we start the purification process, it's a time of love and joy. Because as the hero of our dreams, we're still going to screw up. We're still going to make mistakes. So that's the way of the world. I mean, you were saying earlier today that the way your father treated you was not love. Well, in the world, in the dream, that is love. Because in the dream, success in the dream is how to navigate the dream. In order to navigate the dream and be happy, you have to be disciplined in your mind and your body actions. And when you play according to those rules, which is a dream figure in the dream, you have to play by the rules. And the only way you can be happy is to play by the rules. Now, we now learn as we're not the hero of the dream. Although that way we identify many times, we're the dreamer of the dream. This is our dream. And we're all one. And we're everything. So why not be happy moment to moment? Realize you're doing the best you can. You're manifesting the love that you are the best you can. You're extending the light of what you are the best you can. Be happy. Be funny. Laugh at yourself. Just be the love that you are as the dreamer of the dream and the character in the dream, the hero of the dream. So that's the way I walk through the world. Now, it seems to be working. I still make mistakes. I still damn myself. And, oh, I'm not living up to this or that. And then I laugh and I go about my day. So I love us all. Thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. Yeah. Rana, good morning. It's nice to see your face.
Good morning. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much for that moment of clarity that was given. What I'm struck by is just this idea of forgetting and remembering, right? Just getting totally tied up in the things I'm perceiving, and what I clearly felt today was perhaps the job is to move beyond perception today. And you did that for me. When you said to visualize the table, the first thought was, well, what am I going to throw on the tables? And then I allowed that space to just be there for a minute. And the most seemingly important thing that has risen today is my son. Yesterday I got back into that checking, where are you at in this job thing? Did you read this? Did you watch this? Did you make that call? And I don't want to be that way. I want to trust. Those questions invoke anxiety in me, because there's this doubt here in the world that he's doing the right thing. There's a doubt. So I threw him on the table and I saw him as a young boy. One of my very favorite pictures of him under an end table, looking up at me with these big blue eyes is what I saw. And so I grabbed his hand and we went via the holy instant to the borderland together. And I just looked in his eyes. And I remembered that he is being led on a seemingly his own journey. and that I may have gave birth to him, but the path and the journey is not for me to uh, demand, And then that came that, that idea, okay, the truth is laying right next to the false perception here. What am I afraid of? And how it reflects back on me, right? There's a Ryan and a Rana, and perhaps there was something Rana could have done differently up to this point. And then, of course, the realization, no, right? What you tell me is that there is no Ryan. That's what Cindy tells me. She says, there's no Emma. And I'm like, okay, there's no Ryan. And I love that the pointing this morning I'm hearing very, very clearly is this is not for the intellect of Rana to figure out. This is not for me to decide what the next step is, nor to criticize all previous steps up to this point. It just is what it is. I'm welcoming this challenge today. Pausing in that holy instant, releasing perception, releasing the hero of the dream and the dream just for a moment, and trusting that the little willingness, thank you, to do that for what seems like maybe just 5 minutes will bring peace and understanding. There's nothing I need to do, but in the looking, there's a surrender. And what I clearly feel is, Rana, you're doing it again. And that's okay. That's okay. Because I do know truth and I can step back from that just for a moment and trust. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, oh, Rana, you're so wonderful. You've already done it right. Right? It's already done, and you did it right. Right? Right. Thank you. Cindy.
I was just gonna tell state for the record that Emma feels very real in my world today, even if I write. What a beautiful thought of I separate she is. Let me throw her and see if Ryan could catch her on the borderland. Um, but while I was listening to Rana, one of my new favorite terms from this book I have only read the first page of is something the author calls the FSA, which is the false sense of authorship. And I'm really a fan of that. And Emma, a conversation with this projection we label Emma, activated intense sensations of pain yesterday and been sitting with it. I acknowledge what it is, and just the continuous reminder that I get to hold her in love and fully experience it all. But I did not author this script. I separate. Something is going on here, and any sense that I could have done it differently, or there's something for me to do other than hold it all in this love and let it rock my world over and over and over again, comes from the egoic, um, what's I gonna the egoic identification as the author of this particular story. One of the gifts that Salvador Poe is giving me and listening to him is this understanding that this sense of giving birth to someone, the physical sense of giving birth to something, is not when like there's no memory of my being born as an infant. My first memory is 3, 4 years old or whenever it was, and that's actually when I was born. The awareness of the I separate thought is the moment of my birth. And sitting in that and understanding that Emma's birth, I'm not responsible for Emma's birth along those lines, but I can dissolve this sense of separation in me and see what happens is um is what's going on here. I'm really grateful for this morning, Amy. I could feel the space, and there's a lot of different voices going on in me, but this understanding that I'm also not the author of this moment, but I am choosing to be as present to it as I can. I am choosing, even though Emma feels really real, my sister feels really real, having to get on a plane on Saturday feels, all these different things absolutely feel real. I can accept that there's something much more beautiful going on here, and every intentional decision I make to soften around what feels real is 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 awesome and miraculous and doing its job. And I'm going to stop speaking there because I can tell it's a little bit of a ramble. But thank you, Amy. This um really beautiful, and I love us.
Right back at you. Thank you. Alice and then William.
Mm.
Good morning, Alice.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Amy, thank you. That was very powerful. And I just so what the interconnectedness of this through the Zoom room is I'll I'll just speak that like, I on the altar, I, the at first I was going to put the pattern of cynicism, and then something else, the doubter. And then I had that deep feeling of going beneath all that, and it was the guilt of my parenting, the guilt of motherhood. So, wow. As Rana and Cindy spoke, it was like, and I could feel my defenses as soon as I kind of like had that concept of, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I have three um, daughters, and so my defenses rose like like just like real immediately. And my favorite little quote is like, my defenses are the foolish guardians of a mad illusion, help me to go like, what, break break that break that up. And I guess sometime I flipped over to the outcome of now, and my lovely relationships with my daughters, and something about the strength of service, the strength to serve, um, presented. And then I thought, I backed into, to be strong, you have to be without fear. The strength for me, the strength is without fearlessness, with being without fear, which backs me up all the way up to it's love and happiness. And so it just felt like a complete cycle in that 10 minutes that you um, gave gave to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to thank you for your words. And um, you gave yourself those 10 minutes, Alice. And I want to thank you for giving them to yourself. William, good morning.
Good morning. What keeps coming to me is that I get lost in words. I become the word. When I hear my name, William, wow, I get caught up in that, whatever that image, my imagination. And that's not me. That's not. That's not. I go from that's not and then now. And contentment is the word that keeps, oh, I love that word. Content, 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 right now, now. So what I see is that I become that word, whatever that word is. If it's William, oh, look at me. If it's like, so my son and daughter-in-law are going for their biopsy for stage 4. I could be there with them. I just reach out. I become with them. When you talked about your father, it hurts more. You know what? I want that hurt. I want to feel that connection of now. The hurt is the now. It's the presence of that. I just see that it's everything evaporates. It's just that in the now, I'm not scattered. I'm just here. It's so present. And then I hear a word and I become that word, whatever that is. And then I remember, come back. So it's this back and forth. So I just, and what I love is that I don't have to do it the other way that other people do it. Those are my words. That's okay. I love their words. But now there are no words in now. And that's what I love about it. No word, just be. Thank you. I love the space that we all are in with no words and all of the words that we share as well.
And the love that radiates from you, from your love of just being in that space, is what you are. And you love it because it is you. That is coming home. That's it right there.
And I feel it, and your words put me back into the words, and then it's a reminder, yes, I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Patricia, good morning.
Yes, good morning, all. It's always, I cannot come on Mondays, but it's always so good to be here. It's like, you really are my spiritual family, and I thank you so much. My heart is open. Thank you for this meditation this morning. I so needed it. It's like I got so caught up in sort of I like the word that Cindy used, the density of my thinking and getting lost in the thoughts and one thought to another. And it's a little scatterbrained. Even though I try to meditate this morning, it was like being with all of you, the meditation becomes fuller and richer. And I'm able to, I have a sense, let me stop with all these words. I have a sense of being present. And in that presence, my heart is opened and I feel freedom. And that simplicity, that's all there is. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, so in less than 1 hour, we are going to come back for 12 stepping. And if you are inclined, bring whatever you want to share from this meeting to that meeting, and we can see where that leads us. Cindy, who's leading 12 stepping? Or Vana?
Dago.
Dago. Okay. I'm sure she'll be. And Dago does create space, doesn't she?
Yes,
She's
she
really a
does.
spacious person. So we'll look forward to that. And I just want to say thank you. Love you all.
Mwah.
Well, we'll see you soon.